As nursing homes do whatever they can to try and combat the spread of COVID-19 to protect their vulnerable populations, a North Florida startup company is working to provide automated and enhanced infection control solution to skilled nursing facilities all across the country. And today I had the chance to speak with the founder, a doctor who's an infectious disease specialist in Gainesville. The goal is simple: detect viruses and multi-drug resistant organisms at nursing homes in real time to help combat the spread. Dr. Robert Yancey is the founder of Smart Steward. His company's software is designed to analyze electronic medical records and serve as an early warning system to help them reduce infections like COVID-19.
What I'm seeing in the nursing homes and in people is such variable presentations, not just a respiratory illness. It's something that affects the whole body. They have very strange presentations with muscle aches, altered mental status, abdominal pains, diarrhea.
The innovative software is able to map an outbreak and immediately deliver the data to doctors and nurses.
The sooner you identify an infection, the sooner you can institute control measures such as isolation and diagnosis and prevent it from spreading to other patients or other healthcare workers.
And the visualization tools can help identify how COVID-19 is spreading.
It's very important that when you're studying a outbreak, you want to know where it is and the time factor. You can determine where it's coming from. Is it coming from a nurse? Is it coming from the food supply? Is it coming from the air vents? Or is it just person to person?
Right now, one North Florida nursing home is using this technology, and Yancey expects 5 more will be within the next week.
We believe this is a whole new way of providing safety for this vulnerable population.
And Dr. Yancey told me that that one nursing home that's been using his company's software for about 1.5 years now has seen its overall infection rate drop dramatically.